3 centuries ago, a scaled tidal wave of dragons washed over the continent, destroying and consuming anything and everything in their path. In the present day, people and settlements emerge from their sequestered safe havens in an attempt to reclaim the lost world outside.
A half-orc warrior devoted to protecting Erinos and uncovering the truth within Feori.
A gnomish archaeologist looking for old truths and new secrets.
A daring half-elf warlock testing his luck and following his fortune.
A dwarven druid on a quest to find the spark in a dragon's egg.
And a knight spreading the rekindled light of his gods.
Welcome to the continent of Erinos. Welcome to Emergence.
Hello everybody and welcome back to DICEBERG Ahead. You're listening to Emergence Q&A. Season 5. My name is Chenoa Reid. I will be the host for this evening, and today I have with me
Nathan Holten, R.I.P. Puddles.
R.I.P. Puddles. Season 3 throwback.
Garrett Kelly, wondering why I'm here.
Evan Batt, answering your question. They then.
Hunter Olson, I will neither confirm nor deny the safety of puddles.
Tristan Redearth, questioning everything.
All right. As per tradition for most of the people, actually not most of the people at the table, I like to start Q&As with trivia. So I have set out trivia. We will be raising our hands instead of yelling for our trivia, and the winner gets pride and maybe an inspiration point. I don't know, DM. Am I allowed to give that inspiration point to those who win?
Confirmed.
It'll start off easy.
If you answer wrong,
I
you get a
promise.
negative inspiration.
If you answer wrong, you gain a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, the one who has the least points will get
God.
a boon against them. Some boon. My hunter will.
Some boon.
Yeah. Which
Your
means
character has diabetes.
I'm always there for the boon.
A
you gain
bane?
diabetes.
A bane?
All right. Oh, yeah. A bane.
Yeah, boon's a good thing. Anyway.
Question 1. Who dealt the killing blow to Indoxa?
Ranpram Sneedbar.
Ranpram Sneedbar. Bonus points, how?
I also know.
You also know.
I shot her with the crossbow bolt. Or not
The
the crossbow, the harpoon
The harpoon?
gun.
Hell yeah. Point
It
to
was
Ed.
glorious.
It was.
I mean, also half point to Nate, because that's his character.
Nah.
Is that how that
point
works?
Yeah.
for doing the thing the trivia was about.
I didn't raise my hand. I was just like, oh, I know. And
It was me. This one's a bit harder, so we're going to go by Price is Right rules.
Cool.
What was the amount in GP
Oh, God.
of coins and gems found
No.
in Indoxa's hoard?
What about draconic artwork? Are we counting draconic artwork?
I don't think I'd know
No.
this one.
Okay. So we have to subtract 600.
Tristan has a guess.
200,000 GP.
You are still under. Can we get any closer to 200,000? Did you say 200,000?
200,000.
200,000.
I was just listening to those episodes. 360,000.
It's close, but it's over.
Damn.
Oh.
325,000.
Very close. Very close. Any other guesses?
I don't want to take it because I didn't know.
I mean, I used some context clues, I will be honest.
Yes.
I'm letting everyone else go first because I'm the one who generated the amount. Doesn't mean I know it, but
You just got to get it to the fucking decimal.
Should we reveal?
Sure.
Okay. The total that we got in gold pieces was 347,000 gold pieces.
Why didn't we just retire? I'm gonna be honest.
Consisting of 45,000 GP, 29,000 platinum, and 8,000 worth of gems.
Damn.
Damn.
It's because we're heroes, Garrett.
Which
I mean,
means
we could buy someone who could do our job.
Garrett technically got closest
Mhm.
based on context clues.
Yeah.
Thalminar thinks we only got 5,000.
5,000.
True.
We all lied to Thal.
He's like, I'm just doing it because we're all poor.
Bonus on this.
Like, how did you guys afford all these upgrades in town?
That's crazy.
Can anybody name one item that we acquired from Mendoxa's Horde?
A bunch. Like,
Thal.
Dragon Slayer's bracers.
No.
We did not.
We made those
no.
with the dragon instead.
I can name
Yes, Garrett.
so 7,000 worth of diamonds for reviving, and
That was something you purchased.
Yeah.
no, that came out of the gems in the horde.
That was out of the 8,000 gems. I think we designated an amount of gold, but I'm talking about items that we also grabbed.
Oh,
Yes.
items.
Yes.
Okay, I was, since I have them itemized in my inventory.
Oh, no, that makes
Since
sense.
I was.
Go
ahead.
Yes.
please.
White tier 3 Arcanite.
Yes,
Yes.
that is one of the items. Anybody
that
else
was
have any other
fun.
ones?
That's the only one I had written in my inventory.
Do we
three
count
red
the armor
Arcanite.
that we got off that one dude we killed?
That wasn't in Doxa's Horde. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I grabbed her tooth.
Was there like a dead egg or some shit that we?
There
must
was
not-
one. I don't think we
left
took it.
there.
But we acquired a 8th level scroll of Power Word Stun, Potion of Storm Giant, a locked scroll of a 9th level Time Stop, and the tier 3 White Arcanite.
You need to remind me that we have these things because I have totally forgot.
That's okay. I have it all written down.
It's in Chenoa's inventory. She forgets prophecies but remembers items.
I
Like a
mean,
goldfish who only knows items.
like a goldfish who's good with items.
All right. What are the names of the two feuding shopkeepers, and
Oh.
why were they feuding? I think Evan was
Evan was first.
close on that.
Ian and Kieran.
Yep, Ian and Kieran. And why were they feuding?
I'll let someone else try.
It was over a girl. I don't remember the girl's name though.
Was over a girl. A semi-plot relevant girl.
Valencia. Fuck you,
Valencia.
Hunter.
Yeah. Valencia Atheras.
Alice's eldest sibling, the inheritor to the Atheras estate.
For her attention and business, is what I have written down. Hunter, you're getting so many points.
I know. I'm killing it.
Okay, I did not know how to phrase this question, so I apologize if it feels really vague. But what are the 4? Ev knows.
Evan can have this one, unless Tristan wants it.
The 4?
The 4. Do you
Do-
know what I'm talking about, Hunter?
Maybe.
Okay. They were relevant in the prophecy.
Ah. Okay.
Colors?
Close. So the elder deities, the species, the Vidalcan, the the knowing, the divided, the dreamers, and the illithids.
The parasite.
Parasite.
Yep. Those are the 4. Last one.
I like Hunter's lore.
Trivia! Hey, we love trivia, guys.
Yeah.
I love trivia.
I'm excited about trivia.
Okay, last question. How was the mortal man granted freedom of death from Jal Giltane?
Freedom
I know this
of
one.
death. Oh.
Yeah, that's phrasing specific for Hunter. I'll let Thal grab
Divorce.
Based. That's my answer too. No. I don't know the exact process of it, but by touching the Everwilt, and I think they made a contract with Carubio. No.
Not
Oh,
exactly.
fuck. Okay.
This also kind of has to do with Coromand. It's like a weird nod to Coromand.
By
ahead,
being
Garrett.
a red-blooded American citizen, freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter.
He cheated in a checkers game.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a game of checkers.
that.
Right. It was
Mhm.
this. Yeah. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations, Ev, for getting the most points. Everybody else, you did really good as well.
Oh yeah.
I got 0.
Good job.
I
Good
think
job.
we
For
can give
throwing
you
some
an
out there.
honorary point for the funny one.
Oh, thank you.
Divorce point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Val wins, or I mean, Tristan wins in my heart.
Okay.
Goat's ready.
I don't think she's in frame. Now she is.
Hell yeah, goat.
So this first part of the question is mostly towards the DM, but if anybody wants to give their perspective, do so. Season 5 begins with only 2 party members left. Oh, spoilers, by the way. If you couldn't guess by the season 5.
You should listen to season 5 first.
Yeah, or the recap. But how difficult was it to introduce new and returning characters?
Yeah. Yeah, getting Beck back into the picture was fun, figuring out the logistics of how long Beck was away and how much time was spent and stuff. Evan and I were messaging about that a lot.
For like 2 months.
Yeah. And having them pick up, now I'm just remembering season 5 episode 1 now as best I can. Having everyone group back together with our kidnapped party members was a struggle as well, without making it seem too convenient for the plot.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to feel adventurous without feeling like, okay, we got to do this now, so let's move on.
We got shit to do.
Yeah.
And how was the transition process for the new players coming into an already veteran party?
I think I definitely had to like figure out my place, and also like
Let's get in line, Tristan.
yeah,
Know your
yeah.
place.
Like I need to know my place and figure out like what's my motivation for being here. Still haven't really quite found that, but like, it's an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of utility spells that helped me slide on in there for the like functional parts. But no, I do agree with Tristan that like getting into the overarching plot of a long running story like that is a little challenging.
Mm-hmm. Especially kind of late in the game.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, when a lot of adventures already been had.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that, Nate, as well, since you did also join, like,
It was
partway
super
through 4?
chaotic.
Yeah.
The initial, because the guys kept talking about stuff I had no idea about. I was just like, oh, okay, like, I guess that happened.
Yes, there was a lot of listening and
Yeah.
There's always a mini episode period of just being like surprised and then like, okay, I guess I have to process this now while you guys keep talking.
Amori died?
Yeah.
Recently?
kind of being like summoned for the final boss
Yeah.
and being like, yeah, I'll help.
I cast
I don't
Fireball.
like that guy.
During episode 4, Jailbreak 2, Electric Boogaloo, antics similar to episode 13 in season 3, Brass Tactics, ensue. How intentional was this? And how did this make the GM feel, knowing the party escaped a second time?
For me, it was in Doxa's like pride. Like she sees herself as a general and like a lord. Like she wanted to capture you and execute you in front of all of her underlings. She couldn't just have her underlings kill you out there. That wouldn't do it for her.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to keep doing this where she might not always be home when you guys arrive and like waiting for like a ceremony and stuff like that, which really gave you guys a lot of opportunity to do stuff. So I was like half expecting a full escape to happen, especially since you guys knew the interior. I like refleshed out some more areas you guys didn't go or didn't really explore much. Like you guys never went into their like bedrooms that much. I think maybe after it was cleared out, you did a search, but yeah. So there's a lot of refleshing out of stuff that you guys hadn't touched before. I think the poop chute was new. The poop chute was made up on the day.
Yeah.
Escaping through the sewer system.
Leave it to the boys to go in through the poop chute. God, those are one of my favorite episodes. Both of those episodes, Brass
That was a fun
Tactics
time.
and Jailbreak 2.
Yeah, me
Electric
too.
and the
Boogaloo.
millions of marbles. right?
The ball bearings.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
ball
But
bearings.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a funny image.
That's
I enjoyed that.
It's a recurring theme.
I would recommend listening to the first Jailbreak. It's
Yes.
it's a similar process.
It's in the recap, so
Mhm.
I think the recap comes out before this.
It should,
I'm pretty sure. But yeah.
hopefully, unless I get severely behind.
But yes, that's where it should. And there's a little clip of us escaping. So
It's good shit.
It's good shit.
Check it out.
yeah.
It's a great game. Great podcast.
Preparations. Part 4 delves into the prophecy. GM, what
Yeah.
are some moments in the prior seasons that you've hinted at? And are the players close to solving some of these aspects?
Let us know.
So, with the way it's scrambled up, I will say at least one line I think you've got pretty spot on in your like rearranging of the phrasing of these things. So I think you're close enough to figuring it out. It's just a matter of getting confirmation, which is a thing that's difficult for me to decide. Like, where do I put the deciding clue that will definitely let them know
Yeah.
what is what,
Yeah.
and when does it feel worth it?
Players, what parts of the prophecy that caught your attention the most? If you remember any pieces of it, or the vibes, I
It's
guess.
definitely saved in Discord.
It is.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of sticky notes on my desktop of every single line separated out so I can move them around.
No, after we got the complete prophecy, we like had like a brainstorming session after that.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Tony Stark moving like
Yeah.
holograms
I
around.
think
Garrett Chenoa and I were on a
Yeah.
call for hours. All of the like named roles, the like sibling, I don't remember any of the others.
yeah,
It's been a while,
like the
but
sibling, the servant,
mhm.
the apprentice. I think was
the
one.
no, not deceiver.
Sauron.
But yeah, no, just like identities.
Yeah, I think one of the ones that stuck out the most was unravels the world for pride
The false servant.
and like
False servant.
the
That's
great swallowing or something like that.
The heralding the darkness, the great swallowing.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was fated to pass, though fate has passed. Events are set in snow. To me, that's like the future is so undetermined. I think that's really cool.
Frick you, Hunter.
yeah. That ties really well into. I can't remember the deity's name, but there is a god of, I don't remember if it's destiny or fate in the Imlir.
I think it's set as Destiny.
Yeah.
It's Schixel Schultz, I think. And they're like a gnomish god, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so.
But yeah, they don't really have a pull in the mortal world anymore.
But they're
Pixel.
Schixel Schultz. Yep.
I've talked with Hunter about them before, and like the concept of destiny, it's not set in stone. It's like set in snow is a really great phrasing for it. Of like their job is to guide you to like what you could be, like the
Yeah.
like showing you the different branches and showing you like here's how you get towards a good ending effectively.
Yeah.
And I love this. I like this shit.
My question is it like that like wet sticky snow that you can like roll into snowballs really easy?
Yeah.
Or is it like dry snow
The
that
perfect
like
snow
kind of
and
like
crunchy and
just like
gross.
kind of crunchy like bad snow
Is it
for
meant to be
rolling?
used as a weapon?
It's meant as a canvas for piss.
Okay, so it's like powdery with a crust on top.
Exactly. It makes like a satisfying like splash when it goes through the hard outer layer and then hits the grass
That
beneath.
makes so much
We've been thinking about
sense.
this all wrong.
Of course.
We're gonna change the world.
Great.
The piss prophecy.
So one of the biggest arcs of season 5 is encountering Akval in the Kyria Telecos. Was it the plan to split the party, And what was the hardest part about pulling off the simulation?
It was really weird to try to like tease at it without being like super obvious. So there was like a couple moments where
Yeah.
we said stuff and you guys weren't picking up on it. We're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Kind of all looked at each other like, ooh, we gotta be like a little more
No,
involved with this.
probably the thing that I wish I had done was coordinate more with the simulation bros, because like we all were approaching it a little bit differently,
Mm-hmm.
and I think us being a little bit more like, as you know, a little bit weird in the
High-minded.
same way would
Yeah.
have helped not be, yeah.
I think all of you telling them to calm down over and over again.
Yeah.
Amori,
Was-
just calm down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like reconvened after break and we're just kind of like, yo, we gotta get a little more in their face about this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting to me to see the three of you interpret that prompt in three different ways. It's been a minute. I actually just listened to this like yesterday, but Tristan
been
was
at least a minute.
yeah. Tristan was very insistent on like, let's take a break. You need to take a break. Let's slow down.
Get in the bath.
Go to the spa.
I can't remember what you two did, but fucking
I feel like I was a little too like thoughtful, I guess, is because I was like, well, if I'm tricking my party members, I'm gonna do it my way. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to be like, hey guys, I was like using my spell slots weird and shit, like rather than just being like trying
Yeah.
to coerce you with words.
yeah, you offered to turn someone into a koi, then a baboon.
Yes.
But
I forgot that part.
I'm gonna dig into this just a little bit. So yeah, right at the beginning, you know, Hunter does the cutaway. It's like, oh, but like that's not where we were. We're actually at the bar or the tavern, and like you're waking up from a drinking party. And like I really liked that cut. I felt like it was really well done.
I agree.
Garrett and I left in between session to like go grab food or something. And he asked me, he's like, so do you think we're in a simulation or something? And I said no, because I thought that our brains had just been wiped and we were still in the real world.
That's what Chenoa thought
Yeah.
for a while.
Solid
Amori completely was like, yeah, this is normal.
Mhm.
And then just certain things after a while, not even in that first episode, it was like the second or third, it must have been the second part where it was just like, why is there nobody around?
Yeah.
Why are people saying weird things to me?
I'm gonna pat the five of us on the back, but specifically Chenoa and I for our acting in those episodes, because you guys were playing different characters effectively, and Chenoa and I were trying to play our characters, but with meta knowledge that our minds have been altered, and I think we all did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, sleepover.
Yeah.
Slumber party.
I was like, oh man, I'm gonna like take a bath. I'm like, oh fucking, like we're relaxing before the siege.
Yeah.
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 Oh, also, quick interjection. Sorry, Hunter, for engaging with a bunch of off-time RP like roleplay during that. Like it just happened on accident. I wasn't trying to like introduce like 6 new characters to the town
No, you're okay.
during a.
We got Ian and
Sleep.
Kieran.
You get Ian and Kieran.
I know, but it's. I feel like that would have been better done in reality.
It's so funny that we skipped the shopping episode because we did the
'Cause you
shopping
did it
episode
all.
in a simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was gonna get done one way or another.
Yeah.
It's honestly a better way to do it, really.
Yeah.
You were actually shopping in your dream.
I appreciate how you two really committed to the bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was very confused. Like Chenoa was confused.
Yeah. I was like, I'm rolling with it.
Fantastic. I'm very proud of those episodes.
You should be.
So Team Ian or Team Kieran?
Ian.
Team Ian? Team Kieran?
I'm pretty sure I said Kieran in the episode where we did the bit, so I'm gonna stick with that.
I think I said I
on.
was Team Ian, and then you betrayed me.
That's exactly
I'm-
what happened.
I'm a hard Team Ian supporter. I just rolled for it because I forgot.
Ian.
I'm Team Valencia. She can choose whatever she wants to do with her life. She doesn't need no ban.
Nice.
I mean that sincerely.
Girl boss.
Girl boss indeed.
what were characters thinking after recovering from the first fight with Akval?
Okay, so this was after we had that very tense episode in the tunnels.
Yes.
By
It's
the way,
when-
big props to our DM. That was like fantastic tension that episode. Like
Oh, yeah.
I was feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
I was really
Makes me
concerned
happy.
about Herschel. I could worst character for you, but like his memory thing, I was just like, oh shit, not the Herschel boy.
We gotta get him.
Go
We gotta
get
get our
him.
boy back.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, Herschel is like indebted to you guys.
Yeah. I
You're my best friends.
was a little surprised though that I guess the damage wasn't as extensive as I thought it was going to be, which is kind of refreshing though, because like I thought this organization like owned the entire city,
Mm-hmm.
but figuring out that it was kind of self-contained was interesting, because then there's more dynamics at play,
Especially with the like mind control, like sleeper agent aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like it's more than just there's a bunch of corrupt people.
Right.
Once that central like node is gone, they might be okay. Like the battle droids are broken after
Yeah.
the command center's destroyed.
I think. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we're all talking about the first fight with Akval, not the fight during the siege, and then
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No siege.
Because
no siege.
the results of the siege are in season 6.
Yes.
And this is before that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Season 6? What? We haven't done that
What?
yet.
Whoa.
Never ever.
I would say that I was like a little disorientated, like after we like reached the safe house after that episode, because like my impression was that like the entire city was hostile effectively, and so I was like, well, what do we do? Like, because if we like go out on the street, we get like stabbed or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really like it, because we had a lot of shit to do,
Yeah.
but we had to do it cloak and dagger, and then it was we got around pretty well. We had disguises, and we had
Oh yeah.
a lot of resources.
Chalk Closet Part 2.
Chalk Closet Part 2. Oh, that's a tangent question. Wizard gang, hats or hoods?
When y'all all dressed up as wizard,
If
everyone wanted to be
I-
a wizard.
If I were a wizard, it'd be Hood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm team hood.
Hat.
Depends on the hat.
Point.
I wear a hood, but it's pulled over a hat. So it's a wizard hat that's completely smushed down under a hood.
That's
There's
that's better than the
no-
alternative.
There's no little point on that hood. No.
Well, I mean, like
Not
there
anymore.
is. It's just smushed.
I would wear a hood and a hat on top of the hood.
Hunter,
The important question.
Just a hat.
Classic.
that's unrelated to anything.
Classic.
Sorry, a hat on a hat is the funnier answer.
I know.
Wearing just a ski
my
mask.
wizard hat.
I know Emori, after encountering Akval, was going through a bit of an existential crisis, and needed like further counseling
Yeah.
to like be assured that her friends are not going to betray her. Considering this was the second time that this had happened,
Trauma.
so I was Emori was having a good time.
Yeah, Maury's arc with like trusting her teammates and herself has been
Yeah.
very good for me.
Does Beck still hold a grudge against Emori for being vigilant regarding their charm?
Beck has never held a grudge against Emori.
Good.
Yeah. No, Beck is so self-flagellating. Don't you remember? Put me in chains, manacles, shackles too.
Chain me up. I'm a monster.
Take all my weapons and armor.
And my clothes to my shirt.
And
Rippling
Beck-
muscles.
And Beck
Scars.
doesn't hold a grudge against Emori for, like, basically Emori telling them to leave.
Mm-mm. No, he's surprised and thankful that he's been welcomed back.
Aw.
Are you sure that was part of the questionnaire or just?
Oh, that
Or
was
did
personal.
you just want to know?
No, it's written down.
Beck, we wanted you to leave. No.
This is what you get for asking questions. Thalminar
Oh,
often makes bets with the dealer at his own expense. What would happen if the terms of the deal changed and losing began affecting party members?
Ooh, that is a good question. Yeah, as it currently stands, the negative effects are usually minimal.
Uh-oh.
As of the end of season 5.
As of the end of season 5. But going forward, if there was a change in the deal and it started affecting my party members, I would probably be more careful when I use it. Right now, I'm pretty like
Very
yeah,
frugal.
I'm gambling. I'm gambling all the time. I'm winning. Life's great in season 5, and so yeah, let's just hope that the deal doesn't change.
Uh-oh.
Wink.
God. What is something that didn't happen this season that you wish did or are wanting to happen next season? I'll start off in the circle.
Oh, jeez.
Mindless.
Didn't happen in
Pram.
season 5. You want in season 6, or would like to see. Yes,
Oh,
massive.
hopefully Pram doesn't die. I'm semi-worried about that.
Pram's safety.
I hope Pram does die. So, that.
We see Pram kick.
Can't believe you did that.
Is that what you're sad about?
Swift
You
kick
wish
in
it
the
happened.
ribs ought to do the trick.
Can't believe Akfall didn't finish him.
Finish him. Anyways.
No, I don't know. I'm excited to see how the stuff in the Wyvern's Tail goes. That'll be fun.
Okay, so things that I want to happen in season 6. Honestly, sometimes I feel like druids have too much bullshit. Genuinely.
Yeah.
And like, it's great feeling like I've got a fucking utility spell for everything, but I don't know. It feels like I'm not like problem solving. I'm just like, got a spell for that, and it just sort of magics away problems.
Yeah.
So I don't like. I guess this is a little on me to more creatively use my toolbox, but yeah, that's just something like I want to challenge myself to be more creative with how I interact with the problems we get.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, druids have a very long list of tools to search through as well.
I currently have what was it, like 4 spells to summon Fae prepared
Yeah.
because I'm really smart and use my spell slots wisely.
Things I want to happen in season 6. Hunter, take notes. Go back to Ozatu. I don't know if we'll get to that, but I want to.
I know we're gonna try very hard to go to Visage.
Yeah, Visage as well. There's a lot to do in the Wyvern's Tail. Specifically killing Naubanax, and then bringing his head to Grand Mistress Ildane,
Yes.
so that she will sing us high
Ildane.
praises, because that is what she promised she would do.
Yeah.
Shower us in gold.
And
I don't know if she promised that.
Oh.
That's for the
Molten
Dragon
gold.
Board.
I think she promised more like kind of an in on like some prophecy stuff.
Golden us a shower.
she just said that she would
Piss on
praise
us.
us. That's
No,
it.
that was someone outside who promised a golden shower.
Oh. You see, I get confused.
I'm in the items.
That was
person.
Homeless Man number 72.
I feel like this is more of a season 7 thing,
Yeah.
but I want to get to the top of Erinos' tallest peak, which I don't know the name of, and do whatever fucking ascension ritual bullshit is up there.
Yeah.
Just do it yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah,
Oh.
that'll show the fucking
Bitches.
Stupid heads.
O's.
It's going to be really funny when we get up there and try to do it
Imlir.
and then we can't.
no. Yeah, it'd be funny if we fail.
God.
I can't remember his name. Herschel's group. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, the prophetic monastery.
Yes, thank you. Anyways, I'm done talking now.
I love watching you squirm.
I know you do.
Something that didn't happen in season 5 that I want to happen in season 6. Well, I'm already very happy with the prospects of exploring an area that we haven't really been to in the podcast that much. There's still plenty of Erinos to be explored, so I'm looking forward to traveling, as well as checking up on the cities like Visage and Azatu. Going back to places you've been is the best way to show that your world is fleshed out by just changing some shit. So saith all the videos I watch. So I'm excited for those, especially since some cities may have changed very drastically.
Siege.
They have ghosts.
They have ghosts now.
Just city ghosts. I think for Thalminar, it'll be interesting to see him in the Wyvern's Tale, because he's kind of from around there. But also, I feel like he's been very useful in combat. He has, he has some moments that he really shines. Outside of combat, though, I think, he could be a little bit more useful. So in Season 6, I'm kind of hoping he lends a little bit more to the world building, and yeah.
Yeah, something I want to do in Season 6 a lot more is just RP more with our new players.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about their backstories.
Yeah.
I have so much backstory. You guys, you don't even need to ask me, but I've got a lot written down.
There's so much, it's not even worth asking.
Fire. Syzygy.
All right, Chenoa, answer the question.
Yeah, your turn.
So the thing that I wanted to happen in Season 5 happens in Season 6. So
Yeah,
I feel like I can't really answer it because it'll spoil.
that's fair.
I mean, you could
Do
you
now
have-
it would.
Do you have something else?
I feel like Emori, I feel like it'd be really interesting for her to take a step back as a totalitarian captain,
Yeah.
because she's very much present as like the face of the group, and I feel like she really wants to give the opportunity to other people in her party to like be more of a leader in areas she's not familiar with.
I think this season's gonna be a little bit of a rebranding campaign for Emergence Squadron.
Yeah.
Since you're a bit more disconnected from like your roots as a Wayrider squadron in the first place.
A lot of things are getting redefined. Emori is becoming a new person, and the things she's familiar with is Fiori, and our journey is more than likely going to branch away from that. So, that's what I'll say. What was everybody's favorite combat and least favorite combat?
Okay, season 5.
Season 5.
Season 5.
Do we happen to have a list of the combats? Because there was a lot in this season.
I can
The
pull
Indoxa
up.
fight's the big one.
I
Say
can
that.
pull it up. So the very start of the season starts off with a Pram and Emori fight against Indoxa as her mom.
Right, in their house.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one was rough.
That one was rough.
Yeah.
That one
It was
rough.
definitely one of my favorite combats, though.
Listening to that one, you guys, that was rough.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And then we have, of course, Indoxa and the anti-party. Let's see here.
Which there's plenty of, like, I forgot some of Indoxa's legendary actions and stuff.
Yeah.
Big thing. But there was so much else going on.
Obviously, Akval
Mhm.
and the Curia Telecos. And then
Which that was a multi-dimensional fight.
Yeah, that one was really
Yes.
fun. That one
Yes,
was
there was 2 simultaneous fights
yeah.
occurring.
Hunter said that the dragon fight was the big one. I feel like that was the big one.
Did we have
Yeah,
any
that one-
skirmishes
that
with the warband or anything
Nope.
on our way to?
We
Nope.
had that one
Nope.
thing where
You
we
had-
fucked with them, but we didn't
Yeah.
fight them.
We talked with
Okay.
them, and then the day before the siege,
Yep.
the
Fucked
3 of
with
you
them.
went and blew
Yep.
up a bunch of their shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so-
that was fun.
And
too.
then the siege, they have the combat on the grounds with the magic bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the combat with the Hellforge. Is that what that is?
Yeah, the Hellfire engine.
The Hellfire engine.
Yeah. That's the name of its, like, stat block anyway.
Yeah.
And then
And then the party reconvenes.
Beck and Hans punch rocks
Yeah, that's a whole combat.
Dude, that was
The-
my favorite.
The
though.
Honestly,
boulder shit
the-
was very fun.
The boulder encounter, you know how I was talking earlier about using spells in
Mhm.
interesting ways, being like, can I use the rock spike spell to like stop
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
there, I felt like I was actually applying my
Yeah.
spell book instead of having 4 summon phase spells.
That's something you talk about druids having a lot of shit. As a GM, when you have a druid in your campaign, you have to be like, okay, I have to be prepared for them to just ask an animal what's up. I have to be prepared for them to talk to the grass. I have to be prepared for them to turn into something and fly away. Or
Oh, there's a
Especially
stone
when-
door? No, there's not.
no, there's not. Yeah, exactly.
Especially when it's like level 14
Yeah.
druid. When I'm just like, I also know the name and species of every tree in this forest.
Yep.
Tell me, what are they?
Tell me.
I know it. You know I know it.
Give me. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Ockvald fight. That was cool. I felt like I really had to there was a lot on the line. That was cool. That might be my favorite. I also the Indoxa fight was really sick too. It was fun. That was one that was more fun just to watch what everyone else was doing
Yeah.
versus thinking about what you want to do.
And because you were set on the harp.
I did not
You're
think
like,
I was.
You
just
did a good
hanging
hit
back.
and a bunch of damage. You were like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
fucking stay here.
Emori at one point was like, poison, here.
I'm not gonna get up on that dragon and stab it, so here I am.
No, yeah, use Mrs. Elephant. That's something I wanted as well. I was very happy when the Indoxa fight went outside to become a chase because I want to try. We have Mrs. Elephant.
I love vehicle
She's
combat.
statted out from the Descent into Avernus vehicle rules so we can do chase scenes and vehicle combats and stuff. I want to have you guys jumping over chasms as you're being chased by bullets or something. I think that'd be rad.
That would be cool.
That'd be
That
really
would be
sick
really
as shit.
cool.
Yeah, because we've had the
Two.
test drive, the orc fight,
Yep.
and
And
the
then
Indoxa fight.
Yep.
And that's in
Mhm.
5 seasons.
So,
we've only used it
we
3
could-
times.
Give a half point to
To
that
the-
lightning bending that Core Man did to avoid
That was a pretty
storm.
rad. That was a fun scene as well.
But that was
Um,
that was a while ago. We haven't really used Mrs. Elephant in combat since season 2, I think.
yeah.
So my suggestion to you is have more settings where there's giant yellow arrows painted on the ground that give us speed boosts when we drive over them.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we need. Yeah, okay. You know what? I
see.
have
Some
a new
power ups
answer.
you can drive through.
Some ring.
Answer for things I wish that happened in season 5 was actually tricking out Miss Elephant. I talked about it a couple
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
and never got
Yes.
to it. And we actually had money.
We've talked about tricking her out a lot. We've had a good amount of downtime, but
Not
not
quite
enough
enough.
to do a lot
Yeah.
of major shit
Plus,
to the
like
car.
your standing in whatever city you were in is also a
Mhm.
big aspect as well as to your ability.
I
I
think
mean,
if
are
we
we
get
gonna get-
Pram back, we can have him trick it out.
With the amount of money we have, we could make a
You
back
can
cave.
get some figured out.
We have a lot of money left.
We could get a second Mrs. Elephant, exactly
could.
identical.
We could just own Mrs. Elephant. Right now, she's not ours.
She's
that-
Still technically not yours.
We
She's
could
a
get
rental.
a new vehicle, but that feels wrong.
Government vehicle, yeah.
And yeah, there's other cities with vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could get a.
Ours is just.
We could get a Cybertruck, guys.
Is it glued together or?
With the glue that melts under 200 degrees.
Well, that's the craziest part.
I
right?
know. It's
All the people in Texas fucking raging because it gets so hot under the panels.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
dumbest. Okay.
Anyway.
Garrett.
Sorry, someone managed to invent a car that detonated in front of a building, and they weren't sure if it was like a bomb or if the car just did that.
The answer? The car just did it.
Car just does that.
Anyways,
Car just-
favorite or least favorite combat?
Yeah.
Okay, least favorite turn in combat was the very first one of the funny robot guy fight. Because all of the guards had a
Oh.
teleport exactly the height of my walls. And that
Yeah.
that
I do remember
super
that.
cucked me.
oh,
Yeah.
that was so. You
trapped
because
him
you start
in-
action economy though.
They have to do shit.
I think it was just part of their move or something. I'm fairly sure they used it as part of their move and attacked on their first round.
It was bonus action.
Yeah, so anyways, I was weeping. other than that, the fight was great. But like, I was just like, I have this wall spell prepared. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna like divide and conquer. No,
No, not for you.
He did spend a lot of time pre-session with his walls set up and like looking at it and planning it out.
no, I was so
oh yeah,
excited.
we took time to set those 2 areas.
I really
up.
appreciate that you gave me all those props.
Yeah, of course.
I wish we had the cameras before that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been rad for y'all to see.
No, I agree.
But the combat was good. It's just when your plans fail.
Yeah, I feel that, especially as a spellcaster.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, I'm fairly sure that was my highest level spell slot at the time, so I had committed to it.
Right and properly cocked.
Improper.
But I've had a lot of like just good, like where I felt like I've been doing pulling my weight in
You
combat.
wipe out minions like nobody's business.
And
it's-
the siege weapons.
The siege weapons,
Mhm.
yes.
Fires.
It's very
all on
gratifying lighting things on fire.
That's what wildfire. That's what you do best.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that definitely sort of the first and last, Indoxa and the Siege were both really good. I had a lot of fun with those. I'd say probably the Siege because sort of that intro of the like puzzle solving to crush as few buildings as possible was like fun.
Yeah, when the party was split for those episodes, I was like, all right, well, we're going to take advantage of that and try to create drama. You changing directions once or twice helped create drama, but it created drama for me behind the screen where it's supposed to stay in front.
You're like, no.
No, but it turned out wonderfully. It was super fun. There was just a lot going on. That was definitely the most spinning plates in a combat, was the siege fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we were calling the other two the big fights. That was the big fight.
That was the biggest
That was
fight.
the long fight.
We had like 3 big fights.
It
We
was.
had 3 major.
They gotta be big at this level.
Yeah.
Like, there's just little point otherwise.
My favorite fight was Emori and Beck being kind of equals with Nadia.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that little combat.
Quick exchange of punches.
Yeah. No, I had a really, I think, because I had cool scenes in the Indoxa fight and the final one.
Mm-hmm.
You were
Okay.
blind the whole time.
I was blind the whole fucking time. Because the Indoxa fight, that was my first session
Your
back.
big reveal.
Yeah. And I fucking grounded a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit, I re-listened to that episode. I was like, that was the coolest shit that I think I've ever done as a player.
Yeah, that was dope.
I used so much action economy there. And then, yeah, in the final fight, Beck was just blind the whole time. And I got to play Alice.
Yeah.
And both, it was, I've always praised Hunter on his combats. Like the Drake Call fight, I feel like is just like formulaically how you build a fight. And Hunter's done nothing but improve. I love you, Hunter.
I love you too. Thank you.
Wow.
All hail Hunter.
Now that the glazing's done.
Bald! My eyes! Hunter, what about you?
Favorite combat.
Nah, we just want to hear your least favorite. When were you most frustrated?
Oh gosh, when was I most frustrated? Because I say I had the most spinning plates with the siege combat, but the Indoxa fight I was running, 3-4 PCs of equal level to you guys or greater. That might have been higher because you guys had magic items that they didn't have to keep up with.
They had a lot of magic items.
They had a decent shit.
But I mean, we have a bag of holding of magic items.
And how much of that are y'all actively using? I think 1 or 2.
Yeah, most of the magic items we have now are from them.
That's true. Yeah, running them as full characters, flipping through their character sheets was the reason why I forgot Indoxa's legendary actions. I can just about guarantee it.
Another fight that wasn't recorded on a call. Hunter, Jaden, and I did the fight with Indoxa and Pathomat. I played not Pathomat,
Fiangia.
Fiangia. What the fuck is Pathomat?
Pathomat,
That's a
the
word.
white.
Oh no, it's another dragon.
Yeah, it's
It's the white dragon.
Fiangia. I played Fiangia. I'm sorry, I'm the reason he's dead. And
Oh yeah.
all three of us forgot about their legendary actions.
At least
But
it
I
was
mean, they just
Thea.
canceled each other out.
Yeah.
It's like force users having lightsaber fights. Like,
Exactly.
That's why they don't trip each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into that a little bit more? So you guys had like a mock dragon fight to kind of determine the trajectory of how it would go between Indoxa
Yes,
and Fiangia.
I didn't feel like just deciding the outcome, and like technically, you know, Indoxa's stat block was higher. They're both adult dragons, so like I could have just said that Indoxa would win, but I would rather have it be played out, and so I had Evan and Jay overcall Jaden play out the battle in the skies above Indoxa's lair.
And it came down to rolls. Like, yeah. I rolled worse and made like one bad decision.
And the description of Fiangia falling out of the sky and getting impaled on the spire of Indoxa's lair was determined at the end of that fight. Yeah.
That's cool. It's very cool.
So did that affect when we fought Indoxa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So Fiangia was keeping her busy in the sky while you
Right.
guys were making your escape.
Right.
It was just a matter of who would win and when the end of that combat, like where you guys would be when that combat ended, which is why I was tracking rounds so carefully. It's
Right.
because the amount of rounds that passed in the fight.
That impacted the amount of like her HP and shit too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, she was wounded when she got into battle with you guys afterward because of Fiangiat's sacrifice.
Oh, right. I guess I'll start with my least favorite. Not that it was a bad combat, but fighting Akval was hard for Thal because he's a construct, which means half of my spells don't do anything to him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think he can dispel magic or something like that, so it was just, it was a rough situation for me. It was still a good combat. My favorite combat, though, was the siege. I feel like I really got to use all of my utility there, and using freezing. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name.
Borim.
Borin.
Boris.
Yes,
He's dead now. Who gives a shit?
I like the flavoring of freezing him for Hold Monster. I think that's fun, and then shattering him. I think that was the first combat I was like, okay, I like Warlock. This is
I
fun.
see it now.
Yeah.
It only took
Things
a
were
season.
cooking.
Yeah. I think it took me a little while to understand, but I think that was definitely my favorite combat.
Yeah, Warlock functions differently than any other class in the game, and it takes a minute to set in.
Yeah.
Sauce is learning that the hard way.
Yes.
They're playing it.
I go from useless to ho.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
Really
You do
quick,
go
real
from
quick.
useless to hoe.
All right, next question.
No.
Oh wait, no, sorry.
I think my favorite combat was the very first combat of the season that
Mhm.
only Pram and I were a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
you douchebags weren't there.
really enjoyed losing. That's my favorite part of games is when I fail.
Yeah. That's
So I enjoyed it a lot. There was a lot of like questions being asked of like what is going to happen in the future, which I enjoy because I didn't see all of the possible branches of like what could happen. So that was definitely one of my more favorite combats. The odds were not in our favor. Another one of my favorite combats was playing the Centurions in the bad part. So while Emori and Bek were fighting in the Unreal simulation, when we were controlling the baddies, I took great pride in being the evil one.
that was a lot of fun, and I loved the second round when we're like, wait, we get 2 attacks per turn.
Yeah, because we can't fucking read.
I want to honorable mention. My favorite story fight was definitely Emori being betrayed in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good moment where like mechanics and story
like
like
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, because the three of you converging in, Herschel fighting and the Emori's reaction to that and killing Herschel and that carrying over, and then also just the between Hans, Thal, and Beck, where you were sending locusts, you were sending fire, and I was covered in sand, and it just fucking horrendous nightmare creature happening.
Yeah.
That was sick as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a least favorite combat. I have a most annoying combat, which was fighting the dragonkin in the cages in Indoxa's lair, because they were just so goddamn annoying, and I just wanted to leave, and I had 1 HP for a while.
Fucking nets and lighting them on fire and shit.
Yeah. No, it was like the beginning part of the Three Stooges, except we were losing.
Yeah.
We were Mo.
Mo and Curly and
Rupert, I don't know.
Stu?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Stu's one
Mo,
of them.
Curly, and
He gets
Bob?
replaced sometimes. I think.
Joe.
I don't know.
might be Joe. I think it's
That's
Joe, actually.
so before our time.
Roast us
I
in the
used
comments.
to watch him.
I
I
Roast
like
liked
us in
it.
the comments.
Fucking
Tom and Jerry.
do old people like are
Like,
your
comment, and
analytics like people
subscribe.
who are like 50?
Yes.
We do have some older listeners. The ones in their 30s.
Ancient.
Nearly dead.
decrepit.
Ancient.
God.
Welcome to this episode's intermission. Take a moment to go get some water, go grab some food, and come back. Or you can just listen right through. Our intermission is dedicated for giving you important messages, ad swaps, or letting you know about any of our collaborations. It should only take 2 minutes, so you're welcome to skip. We'll see you on the other side. As an avid player of TTRPGs, I choose my dice to fit my character. Crystal Maggie has an expansive inventory to meet your needs. This year, they released one of my favorite liquid core sets titled Flying Dragon, which is inspired by The Lord of the Rings, Eye of Sauron. Sort by material, collection, or color, making your shopping experience easy. Accessorize with dice trays, bags, or a dice necklace to display your favorite D20. So head over to crystalmaggie.com and use code, all caps, DICE, BERG_head to get 10% off your next order.
Are you looking for your next adventure to get lost in? Do you enjoy dark fantasy, horror, slice of life? Are your favorite tropes filled with tragic backstories and a found family comprised of a snarky lesbian, a morally gray grump, and a sunshine character? Then look no further. Tune in to Tales of Three and follow the adventures of 3 unlucky strangers whose fates collide when they accidentally stumble upon a plot to destroy the world as they know it. Throw in some forbidden magic, a slow burn romance, hidden identities, and some devastatingly beautiful baddies who will stop at nothing to keep our trio apart. Mix it all up, and we've got your next obsession. Tales of Three, a Rainbow Dice Club production, is an all-queer, Dungeons & Dragons-based podcast that airs on Fridays. Find us at Rainbow Dice Club on most socials and at Tales of Three wherever you get your podcasts.
Emori ends up negotiating with Akval during the season finale. Do you think this was the right call? And how does Pram sabotaging the sewers change this perspective? Pram?
I stand by my choices. I also disagreed with Emori, so I left.
Valid.
Justified.
I did what I did.
I don't know about justified, but valid.
We'll see what happens.
Season
Oh.
6.
I died for my sins. It's fine.
You were feeble-minded for around 24 hours for your sins.
Hey, we don't know that.
You were feeble-minded for an unknown amount of time.
It was so long.
For 6 months. The deadline.
I'm worried, like, I wonder if they're gonna take the Illithid, right? Or I wonder if they're gonna take a vengeance on Emergence Squadron for the actions of Pram.
Maybe.
I mean,
We don't know
Assuming.
if they survived.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
That's true.
I assume it's like supervillain stuff where if you don't like they died in an explosion, you know.
Yeah. I didn't see nobody.
Do you have an answer? Is that
Sorry, it was about like the conflict of.
Did you think negotiating was the right call? And how does Pram sabotaging the sewers change your perspective?
I did not trust them at all. I think they pretty much deserve to get kerploded.
Yeah, that's fair.
my perspective is very similar to both of my characters' perspectives, which both Alice and Beck were part of that, where throughout the entire game, coming into it from a like negotiation standpoint and telling the truth and being honest, and I, as a player, and both my characters agree with this, I think the Illithids deserve to be able to live. I think that they taking control of the minds of people without their consent is a bad thing, and I think that what we presume is going to happen is they rip them into the Astral Sea. Or did we confirm that? I don't remember.
We thought it was going to be the Astral Sea.
Yeah.
Is where they were going to take them.
Like, talk to people first, but like them being able to like live and persist on that, they have a right to get to live. I also completely stand by
Pram's actions
because
Yes.
like, yeah, no, absolutely. That's fucking terrifying. Go do some terrorism.
Pram's been around a lot longer than Emori.
That's true. Yeah. I think for the narrative, it was great.
The Illithid, the situation the Illithid were in is based off of a quest in Fallout New Vegas, where there's some ghouls trying to get to space by building a rocket ship, and they need your help getting like radioactive material and stuff. And so this, I don't know. I don't think I ever wanted them to be like, nah, they're evil or they're good. It wasn't gonna be that easy. I think like Evan said, like their predicament was so dire in their eyes, it warranted taking control of people to ensure the best outcome, in their eyes. But it was up to you guys as the people who lived, for some of you, in the fucking city above, or just members of the world, whether that kind of shit can fly, basically. I wanted to know what you would do if you would try to befriend them, and they'd be like, oh, the squid faces might be kind of friendly. Or like, nope, they're squids, fuck that, we're blowing them up. Yeah, and I will neither confirm nor deny if anyone or anything survived. Because of course I won't. Why would I do
Hans is a little scorched earth about it.
I just think it's funny that both sides happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
we decided to help them and ended up not doing that.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we are in
safe
cahoots.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
But
really-
not like intentionally.
It really is kind of safe scuff, because the rest of you, as soon as you heard it, were like, I mean, yeah, go for it. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, Emori was definitely under the impression of like negotiate to save the people in Feori despite her feelings about it, because she obviously was not very happy with Akval for a lot of reasons, and this was her opportunity to gain a temporary ally to make sure that the city does not descend into the Astral Sea, but with also full knowledge that Pram is chaotic and has Arknight and will do whatever they choose.
And it was a bomb.
We
I
built a
took-
bomb.
yeah.
You made it a bomb.
I
It
took
was a
this
bomb.
deal as Emori and not as Emergence. And so
Yeah.
when Pram decided, like, I think I'm going to blow them up out of game, I was like, I support you. Full. Do it. Go. Kapoo.
Go
do
right
it.
ahead.
It'll be good. So,
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
yeah. It was a really good choice. Really good
I
split.
felt really bad when I was like so like hyped up. I was like, yeah, just throw it in. And Hunter was just like, well, I was gonna tell you a better place to put it, but since you just threw it in there, all right. I
You
was just like,
see
fuck.
in the distance.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how far away were those 2 points?
It was like suspended in the middle of the room, affixed to a wall. It was like, again, the room was kind of spherical with like a catwalk in the center. The catwalk leads up to this thing that's suspended. So, comparable.
You're in the same room.
It was the difference between pitching it at a thing versus dropping it off the side at what looks like important machinery down below.
And it is a big ass bomb.
Big explosion. You guys will see the aftermath.
Yeah.
We should have rigged him up with a dead man switch, so then he could have like negotiated with them.
Yeah.
We're
And
the
then
good
just
guys,
turn
by the way.
feeble-minded.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
if you're
Ooh.
feeble-minded, whoops. We're the good guys, for the record.
This is the last question that I have. After the finale, when we witness Zavoya taking the throne in Visage, our party is faced with a multitude of choices. Where are they going next, without spoilers? And what are everybody's individual goals?
For the podcast listeners, Chenoa just held a gun up to our faces.
No spoilers!
So by where are they going next, do you mean where do each of us want to take the narrative next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not where have we started
Yeah.
to go next.
In the future, where have we started to go?
Yeah, where do you want to go as a player, and where do you want to go as a character? Like your individual goals as a character. Because we all saw it, right? I'm pretty sure we were all together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Minus one feeble-minded gnome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Yeah. I mean, yeah, as a player and character, I do want to explore the Wyvern's Tale because I think that'll be really fun. The other stuff going on is very important too, and it feels bad that there's just always more threads than you can follow. Like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, well, we'll see when we get there.
Stop giving a shit, Hunter.
I'm sorry.
I'm a completionist. This is hard.
Yeah. Time sensitive feeling stuff.
Things that I sort of want to see there. I'm excited to be going to like a place that's new to the campaign because I think that will kind of help get me on the same page. So I'm not like, who are these people? What are you like? Because like half the people here know what's going on, and I need to be caught up.
Yeah.
So going to a new place, I feel like will help there. And also, since we're kind of moving into a fresh portion of it, having some opportunities to kind of slow it down and be like, all right, we take a week to upgrade the car, and like slow it down a little bit because whatever the second half of the season was over the course of like a week.
We spent, there were 6 episodes of preparations that were over the course of 3
Not a lot
Very,
of time.
very
Less than a
short
week.
amount of
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
Less
Like,
than the episodes in total.
Mm-hmm. No, so slowing it down a little to be able to reasonably accomplish some like bigger housekeeping tasks and like traveling places and that kind of stuff, I think will help. Like, you know, that's something I would like to see.
I know some of my favorite moments, especially in season 2, are just simple, like, time that we spent in Mrs. Elephant, like getting up to antics, like Truth Circle, Cormand getting his chakras realigned, like bitching about crochet and like where we keep the toilet paper. I feel like those like little narrative moments really like help.
And I will add on that from a storytelling perspective, this is great because our heroes are missing the small things and are constantly worried about all these big, larger than life problems that they have to deal with and are on a time crunch.
I just want to kill a dragon or two. Come on, I just want to chill.
It's perfectly reflective.
Yeah, I'm going to continue the conversation and then answer the question. I'm constantly telling people I love slow stories. I love those small moments. I like the mundanity of storytelling. Listen to Cold Sun. It's not a great example. My story in it. But
At the very least, listen to last episode of Cold Sun.
the last episode fucks hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I think one of my favorite scenes from season 5, and I'm having a hard time remembering all the details of it, was oh shit, Beck and I think I know for certain it was Pram just sort of idly chat for a while on a watch, and then Beck rolls a blunt, a joint, and very poorly, and they get high together, and like that was just, I love shit like that. I love that so much. And I was even thinking about on the way here, I was earlier today, I was like, we should do like auxiliary episodes where it's just like the downtime and scenes and like conversations and stuff. I was like, wait, no, that's just part of the show.
It's just hard to think of in the moment.
It is. No, like I'm one of the worst people about that. I have such a hard time just like thinking about that mundane shit. Like, oh yeah, what would these two people who are like coworkers and friends and also saving the world talk about when they're like in between pissing and shitting? Yeah,
Probably.
Wasn't I the watch after you, and I was
Yes.
the only person who was alone?
yes, because Thal was supposed to take it with you, but you didn't wake him up. Instead, you tied him to a tree and talked to him like he was awake.
Classic.
Yes. Okay.
Classic.
I remember I
episode
did.
is this?
I
'Cause I don't
remember I did
remember.
some bit
It was-
about like being
I
the
think I
only
was, like-
person.
You were like
I think
so
I was
tired
I was
or
so
something.
drunk, but elves can't sleep, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I
There was some reason why you weren't joining
It
me
might
for-
have been you rolled the perception for the watch and like got a natural 1, and we said
I
you
think
just stayed
that's what it
asleep or
was.
something like that.
Yeah.
because we had like each pair of people on watch had like this nice little character moment, and then at the end I'm just alone.
No, I remember this now because I think Garrett was like, if we go through this entire watch and nothing fucking happens.
And nothing happened. Nothing happened except for great character moments that we are now reflecting on.
Which I think is really
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to talk at Thal's sleeping body.
God.
And your character was developed.
yes.
I we both learned something there.
Oh, I love D&D. Where do I want to go in season 5? We talked about let's see, season 5, season 6. I want to go to Oz 2. For Beck character stuff, I want to see if he's got a memory rod in there. Restores memories, do more.
What?
A rod.
The rods.
Yeah, the crystal thingamajiggers.
Yeah, and
Beck's rod.
Now you know how I feel whenever I say the word.
and
Rod.
I'm not gonna say the other word. And do more. Save his mom. She's safe, right? Because she's with the
With the People's Court.
yeah,
As far as you know.
as far as I know. And then kick Krubiel's teeth in.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, that would be neat.
We should challenge him to checkers.
What was the last part of that question?
Did you have any individual goals? I think
Okay,
you
yeah,
touched
yeah.
on that
Mhm.
too. So
Oh, also to get my fucking get better armor.
Yeah.
yeah.
The only reason why I haven't upgraded to plate is because I have a cool enchantment. So I had
Do
to
you
transfer.
want the plate that
No.
I have? It has like lightning resistance. It was Banart's, I think.
I'm aware.
Okay. Well, we have it still.
Yeah.
So.
What's the enchantment on your armor? again?
So it's not quite as useful as it used to be because
Pathfinder.
no, I mean yes, but because I don't have Necrotic Shroud anymore.
Oh.
So Necrotic Shroud causes people to make a save or be scared when you fail, but it only lasts like a turn, I think. And what the armor does is it makes it so that people within 30 feet or 20 feet have to remake that save at the end of every turn, which I have a spell that causes fear or the frightened effect. So it's not useless, but it has less utility now. But I still think it's sick as shit. And we only used it in Pathfinder. It's the only time it actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a little gripe I have with D&D is like I never want to switch out my equipment to like the new thing we found because I'm like, well, this one's whatever 1 point better, and I'm like, I feel like I'm playing wrong if I switch.
Beck has a magic shield that I was going to be building him around. He was meant to be focused with his shield, and then I got a sick ass sword in like the first few episodes, Temperance, and I was like, okay, Bek's built around the sword now.
I can do like +6 damage or something while hitting someone, and I just don't. But I have like 4 magic items to hit people.
Wait. Shouldn't
I hit
someone
them.
with wait? What are they?
Ring of Ram. I know my staff can do more bash damage.
Yeah, your staff is technically like a quarterstaff.
And Slayer's Bracer is also, I
That's
guess,
plus a
good
d6
damage. Yeah.
damage.
and like I think one other I'm forgetting right now, but like
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. And also I have like 3 shield spells that are purely for melee combat.
Yeah, you're set. Melee druid. Do it then, Wild Shape.
I haven't seen you hit a single person.
No,
No.
but I could do
But
pretty
you
good
could.
damage.
Why would you
You
do
could.
that when you could do AoE fire damage?
When you could summon a dragon.
You could summon 4 Fae
I
separately. Separately.
no, so it's like 3 of them. There's 3 different spell levels, and they all summon 2 CR of Fae. Why? Why did I do this to my spell list?
That is a great question.
You're a fool.
Sorry. I'm.
In future emergence, like Garrett mentioned earlier, I want you all to go to places that you haven't yet. Like revisiting is always nice, and I want to do it.
Explode.
But explore in the new spaces like the Wyvern's Tail or the White Spine Mountain or like the Ordening Sea. There's another archipelago on the other side
Go
of the
to
continent.
the ocean.
Beck and Emori haven't been to the ocean.
Yeah,
Yep.
y'all haven't been to the ocean yet.
Mhm.
This might be your chance. You know.
Yeah,
Maury's gonna go kick rocks, like literally.
because there's
Sea rocks.
8 cities, right?
Sand.
8 magic cities.
Yes.
We've only been to 4.
Cool.
Wow,
I'm done talking.
that's a lot.
But yeah, I want you all to visit the other cities. I want you all to visit just like different biomes and regions because the way I prep is like, you know, when I'm inspired and the bigger picture things I want to get down right away. But most of the time I don't plot something out unless you guys are going there. Like you guys are the brush, and as you're traveling, I'm filling in with the paint around you guys. So when you go to these new locations, it inspires me to flesh them out and actually put shit there, and make them interesting.
Yeah, going off of that, as a player, I'm really excited to see how the world has been like affected by these like almost apocalyptic events, you know. I really loved running into the group of soldiers outside of Faori. I thought that was like really cool, like, you know, world building. You can see them in action getting ready for the siege, and then they do the siege. Awesome. Maybe we'll take a trip to my hometown or home island. That'd be kind of cool.
Might be in the area.
Anyway, as a character, I think Thal wants to. I think he might feel like he's been a for hire, like just like a mercenary tagging along. I think he wants to be more of like an established member, you know, with a role, you know.
Thal team leader.
No,
Val,
no,
new captain?
no.
Destroyer of Faori?
Instead
Yeah.
of left hand, Maury's right hand.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm gonna talk more. Yeah, I am very interested in going to the Wyvern's Tail because the new cast members, their characters are from the area,
Yes.
which means that
It's where my evil twin resides.
yeah, we've never been there, so we may know maybe a couple NPCs, probably not. Whereas you guys would be able to be more involved with it, and
Yeah.
that's very
Delving
exciting
into
to
our
me.
backstories, I definitely want to do
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Something I forgot I was going to say, as a player, and you know, maybe as a suggestion for the DM, I think it'd be really cool to make allies with people or things that aren't, you know, people from Faori or even humanoids.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's something I've thought about. An aspect of the next season could be, you know, gathering the allies,
Yeah.
Mhm.
getting everyone on the same page at the very least.
Right.
I'm working on getting gods, so don't.
Are there like funny like Ents or giants and that kind of stuff in this
Ents,
set?
yes. Giants, not as much. No.
Okay. Just,
There
like,
has
thinking
been
fun woodland
rumors
critters.
up north.
Cool.
I will say that.
Yeah.
because there's a whole plot line where dragons are going missing around Cronalia, and there's been some hypothesis that maybe it could be a giant or just something out there that's been killing these dragons.
Eating them.
Maybe.
Maybe he's making omelets out of the eggs, like my quest is to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to make the ultimate omelet.
So Emori, she has a kill list. Starting with Naubanax, and then going down from there to like Zavoya and Karubiel, and yeah, she is ready to fight these people.
Is Yorgan on there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Other Yorick, he can get it.
Evil Yorick?
Yeah. No. I think going to the ocean also would be really cool, and I think Chenoa personally. There's a moment that I've been really waiting to happen because she is holding a very specific item that they got in season 2 pertaining to Thal's backstory. And I have been waiting for it to be relevant because there's not any real reason for me to be like, I don't know.
Has Emori brought it up?
A tier 4 Arcanite bomb.
You
I
brought
had
it up
a-
once.
I had a pathetic attempt at it where I went through my bag of holding while Emori and Thal were outside of Indoxa's lair, and I was just going through stuff, and I mentioned the item, but you have to open the item for it to be any sort of recognition.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. So I think there's some really good moments that will come in season 6.
We got that hook so long ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Is this before you knew I was going to join?
yes, this was
This
4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
These threads that I throw out
Yeah.
Hunter's
don't
awesome.
don't always have an end when I throw them out. Again, I paint around you guys as you go.
Yeah.
So, like,
No.
it potentially being connected is an
Hunter knew that you were going to join
Yes.
4 years after
It was
he
in the
introduced
cards,
the
right?
item.
Yes, it was in
Yeah.
the cards.
Yeah.
The heart of the cards.
No, as soon as
Hearts.
I heard your backstory, I knew exactly what was going on. So there's some secrets brewing.
Yeah, I think as a player, I'm excited to see what the dealer or the fates have in store for Thal and his
Yeah.
party. You know?
I might have to work with Hunter on figuring out a clever way for that to come up.
Yeah.
I hope that there's increasingly convoluted ways for teleporting cities. I hope every city we come to, because we've got so far
There's at least one that does it on purpose.
of the cities I know I've visited in this game. Okay, I guess I've only visited one city like in game.
But
it
yeah,
teleported. So if we go to yours, that'll be 2 for 2. So if I go to the third one and it's not teleporting,
You're going to be real disappointed.
Yeah.
Ev, I think you had some questions.
I
do you have any
do.
more that you wanted to ask?
Yes.
How does it end?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
most of these are for Hunter.
Let's all stare at Hunter. It makes him uncomfortable.
So this one is actually asked.
school? No.
Yes.
This-
I'm naked on stage.
This one's actually asked by a friend of the show, Hannah. What was Alice's grievous injury when they died? I rolled a 10.
Yes.
If you need to pull up your list. Oh,
I think it was a scar. I think it was the poison
okay.
thing. I think it was a gruesome scar is what you ended up with,
Tight.
which is like gives you a small bonus to intimidation, but a negative to persuasion or something like that.
Killer.
Literally.
Literally.
Was Okval based on a pre-existing creature or stat block, or was he your own design?
I wanted to do illithids, but I didn't want to do them normal, so I decided robots.
Based.
And that's
yeah.
and that's where Okval came from. Yep.
Wait, so there's more like Okvals?
We met a few automaton.
yeah, like the
Just not-
drones that were like flying around and
I
stuff.
thought they were the robots of the Illithids.
They're like different models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okval himself isn't even technically an illithid, but
No.
he might have the brain
Yeah.
as the
I-
processor.
Oh,
I
okay.
assumed
But-
he was kind of a Dalek situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably has a really
I
ugly
thought he
little
was
guy
like
in
serving his master.
An ugly little guy in
Yeah.
there.
No,
I-
they're asleep.
Was he human?
Akval? No.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he was not. I think he was likely one of them that's been like Theseus's shipped so much, like even the brain, if it's still original, has had so much of it replaced, and yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. How fucked were we if we got into a fight in the host war camp when we went there the first time?
Oh, you would have been fine probably. Like you had all of you there. First of all,
there was a bird in the sky.
There was a bird in the sky.
Around.
They wouldn't have
Val
been
was
able
invisible.
to. They wouldn't have been able to use their siege equipment. They didn't have all of their ballista built either.
But there's so many of them.
There was a lot of them, yeah. But
Okay, but what if they turned on the bubble to trap us in?
this is true.
That
I think it's things inside the bubble can leave, or it might be that creatures specified by the caster are fine.
Yeah,
I would have to. But yeah.
And then this one, I think we confirmed in canon. The siege was definitely not a cover for Illithid shit.
No.
Yeah.
The siege and the Illithid have nothing to do with each other.
We mostly Chenoa, but also the rest of us was like, oh, this is tied together. It's like, no, it's two different factions entirely.
I thought I knew there were two different factions, but I thought it was going to happen at the same time. I was like, they're going to take this opportunity to leave.
Me too. I thought that they're like, oh shit, if we can't protect the city, we need to poof.
Gotta dip.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of the reason we thought that is the war party that was attacking clearly did not have enough manpower to actually destroy the walls or take over.
We
so
expected someone on the inside.
It has to be. It has to
That
be
was a really big part of it.
A double plot, but we don't know.
Yeah.
The other shoe was nowhere to be found for a while.
Yeah.
Till it showed up dead.
Well, the other shoe was at Visage.
Yeah, dead.
This one might be a spoiler, so if you don't answer, that's fine.
Okay.
Is there a lore reason why Kerubiel's mask changed, or was it just like an aesthetic thing?
Aesthetics.
Okay. I kind of figured.
He believes himself above the more humanoid visage, so he just goes for a sheer kind of mirrored surface now.
Tight. This is for the group. When playing a caster, do you prefer using material components or a casting focus? I'm going to start with Hunter and do a circle.
I have realized that aside from the gold piece thing, there's no difference aside from more flavor or ingredients you disagree with and want to change. So I think I prefer material components because they're more flavorful. They're the seasoning for your spell.
Yeah. I have a focus. I haven't really used material components much. I think the way I like to flavor it is like I was doing the ice thing. But having used material components in the past, it is kind of fun to keep track. It can just get a little tedious if you're not careful.
My excuse is I keep track of everybody else's shit, so having an arcane focus is much better for me, Chenoa.
Yeah.
Even though flavor-wise I do really enjoy material, as long as I can also incorporate nice little elements of flavor within my arcane focus. And I do consciously think about if I didn't have my arcane focus, then I would also not be able to cast effectively. So
I'm going to interject in free material components, things that don't have a gold point cost, are just included in your component pouch, like rules is written, which costs. I think that the way that it works mechanically is 2 copper every time you enter a city, and it refills.
That's really funny, actually.
I want to play a campaign where that matters. That's a dream of mine, where you can't refill your
real nitty-gritty.
your fucking component pouch.
Because you don't have 2 fucking copper. You're
Like,
I need to go
you're going to
chop
fucking
wood.
starve.
All right, let's go to this city. Okay, and what do your rations look like? Shit. Okay, I guess I started with 3 days. Okay, do you have water? Do you have enough money for the horse?
Yeah. I think the material component stuff is... It can be... I think it's more annoying than it is anything else.
It's fair.
Sometimes. But also, I think that's kind of the wrong thing to be focusing on when you're playing this kind of game. But also, some people really like it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's that thing where, like, personally, if you're playing a ranger in my game, you're not going to run out of arrows. But also, that might be part of the fantasy for the player, is to go through, like, do fletching and, like, buy the supplies to make their own arrows, or just buy them from a vendor or something.
Yeah.
leveling up fletching today.
Yep.
Spellcasting's just fucking cool.
Amen.
I'm conflicted because I think spell focuses make really like your like model figure of your character. Your spell focus is like a big component of that, and I don't usually see component pouch casters have an interesting component pouch in that way.
Yeah.
Like my staff is a really unique item that the DM made for me.
There's, I think, one that comes to mind for a unique sort of components take, and it's from the D&D movie. The sorcerer has like a wheel, and he like a rotor on a phone, and he puts his finger in the spell that he wants, and rotates it, and it sort of dispenses like a pinch of material components that he uses. And I was like,
That's cool.
yeah,
that's
cool.
like
That's
that's
interesting.
cool, like artificery. Yeah, like that's neat.
But it's hard to do that with like a leather bag.
Like it's not a bad aesthetic. It just I find that spell focuses and that stuff often become more unique to the individual.
You just pull out a tackle box.
But like also
Exactly.
casting a spell by like pulling out a shard of obsidian or like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
The pink gal from Big Hero 6 uses a periodic table purse and inputs her components, which I think is also like an interesting like kind of sci-fi take.
She's doing
on, like,
chemistry on the
component
fly.
powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does it so fast too.
She's like boop 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 boop, boop. And then elephant toothpaste.
I like material components. I care less about the like gold point value cost ones, and more for the free ones, because I think it's interesting to investigate why why do you have bat guano for fireball? Oh, it's because that's a common ingredient in like older explosives because it has phosphorus in it. Or I think
Some of them are just
nitrogen.
jokes.
Yeah,
too.
some of them are just jokes. Using copper wire to send a message, like in a
Telephone wire.
yeah, and then things like friends. Yes, friends, where you apply makeup to make yourself more friendly to them. It's fun to think about how you're doing that, and you can engage it into your role play. And also, my very first 5e character was a Profane Soul Blood Hunter and did not have a component pouch as part of starting gear or Arcane Focus, and only had one spell with a material component, and that was Witch Bolt, which the material component is a branch from a tree that has been recently struck by lightning. And I spent months, real world, every session, every time we went somewhere new, asking Hunter, is there a tree nearby that has been struck by lightning? Nope. Eventually, I just bought a component pouch. But
Moral of the story.
yeah.
Not recently.
Alrighty. We know Yvette is a fighter. Creepy Old Joe is a monk. What character classes are the rest of the Silver Band? Daniel, Portia, and Orsino.
Ah, yes. I think Daniel has always been meant to be swashbuckler or rogue. I think
was wrong.
you were wrong.
I thought he was a fighter.
Me too.
And then I was like 5% chance he's a paladin.
Nah, swashbuckler, baby.
Fuck yeah. I knew he was kind of lighter.
Yeah, he is a rapier. And Portia and Orsino, I believe, were going to be cleric and wizard.
Interesting.
Yes,
how that
exactly.
happened.
So, like full on. I don't know if I was going to have them be a necromancer as well. That might have been too on the nose for me. But I believe the mother was going to be Grave Domain cleric.
Wow, hell yeah. That really translates to the original party. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's cute.
And then last question: have you statted out Dwarf Jesus?
I have not statted out Dwarf Jesus.
I am
the
planning on killing
fuck?
Dwarf Jesus, by the way.
Okay.
That's season 8. We're
Gotcha.
killing Dwarf Jesus.
We got to get you guys to
Repent
godhood so that you can duke it out.
Yeah,
proper.
has Dwarf Jesus gone up to the Standing Stones and done the whole thing?
Is that where he dug?
Who
he
said you
die
need to
and
do
now
that
he
to become a
dug?
god?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, someone brought those stones up there, and dwarves do like stones.
It was Dwarf Jesus.
It was Dwarf Jesus.
The lore goes deeper.
Deeper than Dwarf Jesus.
But we've established that Dwarf Jesus is a newer deity.
We should all start a cult for Dwarf. Jesus. Dwarf.
The
Dwarf.
cult of Jesus.
Dwarf Christianity.
Dwarf Jesus.
Dwarf
DJ?
Jesus more than
DJ.
DJ.
The cult of DJ.
DJ ho. Okay.
God.
Uh,
All right. Does anybody have any last
DJ hi ho.
questions before we wrap?
If it hasn't been posited to y'all in a previous Q&A, for those that have been part of previous Q&As, what inspired your characters, if anything specific? We'll start with Tristan.
I think I wanted to try a new class. I haven't played Warlock before. And part of the subclass was kind of I was like, I want to play something with tarot cards or something with chance. Or maybe I asked you if you had anything that was like that, or because I think so much of this game is already about chance. Add a little bit of an extra layer with the cards, and which means I can fail more or I can also succeed more, I think is fun.
Yeah, the narrative implications of the repercussions to your actions.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of fun that I have this dynamic with the dealer. Yeah, I don't know. I think personally, as a player, I've always been fascinated with like fates and prophecy in D&D.
mhm.
So having a character along with a class that kind of correlates to that has been really fun.
Hell yeah.
I think I mentioned this a little bit before in a previous Q&A, but Emori is based off of a character that I played in high school, which these three were a part of. So based
Mhm.
off of Dove, who was a fighter, and investigator, and
Yeah.
she was also a cop. So
Yeah, you
there's
were a
like a lot
detective.
of there was a lot of like similar things that occurred, except Emori is better. So
I was not a part of that.
Tristan.
you were a
was.
little bit later.
I thought you weren't. Never mind.
I died pretty soon after you joined the party.
Oh,
But
damn.
yeah, you were there.
I was only for one session.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you weren't there, but no.
I was there. You
Damn.
tried to steal shit off of
I
everybody.
did.
Oh, you Clefty.
No.
No.
Different shit.
Pre-cleft, I think.
After Clefty.
It was?
Post Cleft.
Clefty was the
Post-Cleft?
first thing.
Clefty was Evan's very first child.
Yep. I was.
I think Nate, were you in
13.
the original?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Torum.
you
Oh.
Torum Fitfum.
That's right. Yeah. Nate was in
Torum
the
people.
original.
Me and my silly fucking names. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was
Torum
Stoke.
Fitfum.
Mhm.
Stoke the
tiefling.
Vigilante.
Vigilante.
Stoke.
The talking bow.
Stokey doke.
Yeah, with a talking bow.
Oh
That
God.
was fun.
Mhm.
That was a fun one.
Oh, the past games. Anyway, Emergence.
We'll have a different podcast about that some
Torum,
other time.
Vidfum, and Ranpram Sneedbar.
Reminiscing
I know.
about old games.
I have a system.
I want to hear what the NPCs are called in a game that's run by you.
Oh my God.
These are what your characters are called.
It's worse. It's crazy. There's a lot of Keiths.
That's great.
My name's
Oh.
Jake.
My name's Jake. I'm a paladin, bro.
Paladin Jake.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
So Ranpram was kind of based off of, like, just a nerdier Indiana Jones in my mind. Like, it was just like if Indiana Jones was a lot more bookish.
Yeah.
And less, like, I don't know, cool.
Indiana Jones's dad.
Less action hero.
Yeah.
That's tight as fuck.
Sean Connery.
That was kind of my thought process. It's like, what if he was just a big old weirdo?
Like instead
Yeah.
of being played by Harrison Ford, he was played by Martin Short.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
thinking more like Steve Buscemi, but
That
That's
also makes sense.
Someone draw a Steve Buscemi Ranpram.
I had a really clear reason why I made my character
Mm-hmm.
when I did it, and I could not
And
tell
now
you.
it's gone.
Because I remember I was like really laboring over like what kind of druid I want, and I was like, but I have no clue what I was thinking when I made my character right now.
I think I remember you
Because I was like really excited about it,
like
and I don't know why.
passively telling me that you're really interested in playing a druid that wasn't necessarily like a keeper of the forest, but rather like a force of the forest or something. And then you saw wildfire,
Or destroyer.
but I might not be remembering that.
Yeah,
right.
no, there was some shit. I kind of wanted to be like a less traditionally druidy druid, so I went with a dwarf because they're kind of underground dudes, and like I think that's kind of what I had going on. Is I wanted to be a little anti-druidy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I think I've talked about it a little bit before. Beck, I'm really interested in the concept of like Paragon heroes, and specifically like Superman and Captain America are really interesting to me because you take something that's like meant to be really pure and good, and then how do you make that interesting? And so Beck's inspiration was more taking Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes, and sort of like mashing them together. I don't think I could say that last time we were talking about this because I don't think the brainwashing stuff was as known.
But now,
yeah.
Sleeper Agent Paladin.
Yes, he's a sleeper agent paladin, and he's, his main persona is like he literally uses the shield. His church was named Esteves Ergos, which is just Steve Rogers, and I thought it was really cool, and I still think it's cool.
Captain Ozatu.
Captain Ozatu.
Captain Ozzy.
Captain Erinos. And like just this. He's a good guy. He's more aligned with Captain America than Superman, where he's like, yeah, I'll fucking kill a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm here to kill Nazis.
Some people just gotta die.
Yeah, and
Nazis.
Mhm.
Nazis specifically.
Fuck Nazis. And
You want to do what to the Nazis?
no. And I would love to get more into his brainwashedness. It's a hard thing to do, and I put a rush on it when I told Hunter I was moving to Seattle. And I feel like there's a lot more to explore there.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a difficult thing to explore.
Mayhaps we'll see on a return trip to Offen.
Perhaps. Yeah. Especially after breaking his fucking earring makes it harder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what was your character's inspiration?
Well, for Carubial, I always want at least one little shit in my games.
Remember, Candor, I'm a material girl.
I love his, like, pseudo fourth wall breaks.
Yeah, same.
It's,
Super sassy.
yeah.
Where I just care less about him saying cool stuff.
Mhm.
I've jerked off enough for one lifetime.
Yeah, no. For Carubial, because I know a lot of my villains, they're gonna have their schemes and their plans, and so I want one villain who's like just schemes. That's all he is. He is a pyramid scheme. Maybe that's why he's so Bill Cipher coded.
He really likes MLMs.
Yeah, exactly.
God. What a fuck.
But yeah, no, he's all about scamming people and getting power because he just believes he deserves it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love Carubial.
Well, I think that wraps us up for the most part.
Woo!
In the honor of finishing this truth circle off, everybody must confess one secret within character. Okay, Prem, go.
Fuck.
Oh gosh.
Hans Offen.
You have to tell a secret. It is the rules. Herschel?
Shit.
Fuck.
Getting Herschel.
God damn.
I don't know.
Have you lived a life full of lies, Ranpram?
A little bit. Pram left his hometown out of embarrassment. That's something.
Hans?
Things that he hasn't revealed. He has like some ulterior, he has some ulterior debts owed to some dragons.
He's in debt.
Yeah, like
Hans is in debt.
he owes some dragons some shit. Like
Yeah.
They bank dragons.
Yeah.
They have bank.
Yeah.
Well,
Secrets.
I grew up poor. When we visited Ozatu, you saw my mom's home was in the slums. She's always been kind of sickly, so she couldn't afford much for us. So when I was younger, I stole a lot of food in order to feed us. And one time, I went to a
Oh, this is getting sad.
up into I can't remember what the districts are called, the rich district, and I actually
killed someone.
I stole some jewelry from the Levant's household,
Never mind, it's not as sad anymore.
and I sold that, and that's just like, I think people should do what they need to in order to survive, but I feel guilty for it.
I
you know?
forgive you. Herschel?
Absolved.
Absolved.
Wah.
Who do you think
Good
you
thing
are,
you didn't
Dwarf
tell them
Jesus?
that you just bought a bunch. You bought a bunch of weed with it.
Reveal
I was
secret.
really hungry because I've been
Must.
smoking so much weed. So I stole your jewelry.
Dude, Taco Bell's getting expensive.
Herschel.
What secrets does he remember?
I think Herschel would say that I'm the one who sort of introduced Kalia to the prophetic monastery as well, and I wish I hadn't.
Secrets.
Thalminar, in his training at Avache, he was sent on a mission and he misread the cards, and so he went into the cave, but it was too late because his best friend that he was training with had been killed. So he suffered the consequences, and now the council has sent him on his great quest in order to absolve himself of his sins. And so he's been branded with the mark of the Dragon Slayer. So until he kills the dragons, he can't go home.
These secrets are all very heavy. I was just going to say that my secret was a lot different and, inconsequential, I think, to the grand scheme of things.
Well, what was it?
I don't think it matters anymore.
No, come on, you can't do that. The truth circle's not done until everyone tells the secret. That's what you said.
You're right.
You don't get any more moonshine until you say it.
No. I have subjected everybody else to this. I have lost a few magic items.
What?
Somewhere between the transition to 5e and Pathfinder and 5e, I think. I know those words don't mean anything now, but
I don't understand.
I'm sure
You mean
things
when
are
we
missing.
went to the Astral Sea and back, and then when I left and came back, and everything just felt kind of weird.
And Coramand, he was in charge of the bag of holding for a while, and
On this stand is a cat.
yeah. So I don't know what they were, but they're gone.
Well, shit.
Goodbye.
Hans has a terrible secret. He's 1/8 elven on his mother's side.
Oh, God.
Damn.
And with
I
that,
have one more question. What's everyone's favorite NPC? Rapid fire.
I don't know. I can't
Sal.
choose.
Creepy old Joe.
Ian.
Ooh, Creepy Old Joe's good too.
Oh, Carubio Joe is a good one. Carubio.
Damn.
I'll choose Carubio.
I'm a big fan of my favorite NPC, which is named oh fuck, I can't, being put on the spot here, I've forgotten literally every NPC.
Yours is Keeper Udane.
That was mine, actually.
My favorite NPC is my summoned familiar.
Fuck
Actually,
yeah.
I have
Hell
a new.
yes.
I have a new one.
Mhm.
I really like Shepherd.
Shepherd's great.
Shepherd's fun.
Yeah.
Shepherd is cool.
Mine has always been Creepy Old Joe. Carubiel is a close second.
Mine's probably Keeper
Yeah.
Redane.
Yeah. I do really love my mom. But Ruby
Wasn't there
for
like
sure.
a funny circle of druids? What was
The
the
Maples.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
What
Keeper
was-
Redane.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's
the
fire.
old lady.
I had fun in the druid circle.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fun. I lit them on fire.
And with that,
Thank you everybody so much for listening to Emergence
Bye.
Season 5 Q&A. We will see you in Season 6. Good
Maybe.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
peace out, bitch.
Thanks for listening. Background music for this Emergence podcast was provided by Tabletop Audio. For more DICEBERG content, follow us on our Patreon and socials, or visit us at our website at DICEBERG Ahead.com.